Hi everyone, we're going to see what this extraction of DNA experiment looks like. I've collected everything that I need, and so the first step is going to be to take a strawberry, or maybe banana, might be something else that I had some success with, but strawberry if you can get your hands on one. So strawberry into a baggie, seal it up really well, and first we're just going to smash this, okay? Not so hard that you break the bag. But we want to smash this up really well. And what we're trying to do in these first few steps is break things so that the DNA can get released from the nucleus of the cell. So right now I'm doing what I would call mechanical breaking, so literally just smashing. Recruit someone from your family to help you if you've got roommates around. So I'm smashing this strawberry, and I'm going to do that for 2 minutes. And as I smash, I'm breaking cell walls, I'm breaking, maybe even starting to break the membrane of the nucleus, but I'm smashing, and I'm smashing some more. So lots of smashing happening here. All right, so once you've smashed your strawberry up real well for about 2 minutes, just keep it in a Ziploc bag, and you're going to set that aside for a moment and make some extraction fluid. So what I have in here is half a cup of water, and to that half a cup of water, we want to go ahead and add 2 teaspoons of soap. So if you have measuring spoons, great, and if you don't, you can just do 2 teaspoons like so. I have a different set of measuring spoons here, so 1 teaspoon and then a 2nd teaspoon. Give that a little bit of a stir. This will be enough extraction fluid for your whole entire day. The other thing we want to add to this is 1 teaspoon of salt. So I've got some salt here. And so what the detergent does is it's going to break apart the lipids, the nonpolar molecules that make up a cell membrane. And then the salt is also going to help destabilize those membranes because the salt is charged ions, right? And there's some charges on the phospholipids in a cell membrane. So basically the phospholipids end up attracted to the soap, and they also end up attracted to the salt, and they get stabilized in a broken apart sort of way. Okay, so I've got my extraction fluid. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring my strawberry back in here, and I'm going to add 2 teaspoons or around a tablespoon of my extraction fluid into my strawberries. Okay, so strawberries, about a tablespoon of that extraction fluid, and now I need to destabilize those membranes further, both the cell membrane and then also the membrane around, or cell wall, and also the membrane around the nucleus. Okay, so I've got that, and now I'm going to take another minute and smash this. You don't need to be real rough with it, but just smashing it. Let me flip it over, smash it some more, so do that for a minute. And as I'm doing more and more of this smashing over this minute, I'm allowing those phospholipids in the nuclear membrane to be attracted to the soap, and I'm allowing those phospholipids to be attracted to the sodium and the chloride. And in doing so, I'm freeing the strands of DNA. Now, I'm probably breaking up the strands of DNA too, but they're extremely long, so we'll see that they're still long even when I'm done. So once I've got this all smashed up and the DNA is hopefully extracted, now I'm going to get a plastic cup, and ideally with a coffee filter. If you don't have a coffee filter, then you can just take this fluid and pour it directly into your cup for the next step. But I did find that it worked better if I filtered it first, okay? So I'm gonna put my coffee filter in my cup. If you happen to have a clip or just someone else who can hold this for you, that will help a little bit. So I've got my coffee filter, and here all I'm doing is filtering out the big chunks of strawberry, the fibers, the seeds, all that kind of stuff, so that I just have the fluid. And the DNA strands are so tiny, they're gonna go right through the holes in this coffee filter, okay? But what I won't have coming through are like the seeds and stuff like that. So once I've got this in my cup here, I'm gonna carefully unhook it, and what I want is to gently squeeze out the juice inside of this. So I'm kind of gripping it, and you just want that juice to come out gently. Don't squeeze too hard or you'll break the coffee filter. It will also squeeze out the top if you squeeze too hard. You can twist it just a little bit and squeeze that out so you can see there's juice kind of going in there. Really should have repainted my nails before I did this, but we're squeezing juice into here. So once you've got a good amount of juice, just, you know, covering the bottom of my cup here, this is still kind of squishy here. I'm gonna just set it aside in another cup so it doesn't make a mess. So I've got a good amount of juice, and now you wanna go to your fridge or freezer and get out some cold, ideally isopropyl alcohol. 71% or 70% or 91 worked okay for me. So if you have one of these around, go with what we've got around. However, I did have much better success with the 91% and better success when I got it colder. So if you have a freezer or have access to some ice that you could put this in, it will work better. Okay, so I'm gonna take my alcohol and I'm going to pour it down the side of my cup. Okay, so pour it very slowly. I'm trying to keep layers here. So alcohol will mix with water if you stir it, but if you don't stir it, it will just kind of lay on top. And so I'm gonna put about quarter inch of that alcohol on top, and then just watch what happens here. Okay, so let's see. Try not to disturb it. So what's happening is we have this cold non-polar alcohol sitting on top here, and meanwhile we've got the DNA strands that have been broken up and released. It's hard to see on the picture here, but if you look up close, you can start to see some filmy white stuff forming around the edge of the cup. And that is at the interface, or the area where the liquid water, strawberry juice, matches up with the alcohol. The DNA is not soluble in water. And so as a result, when it hits, or sorry, not soluble in the alcohol, so when it hits the alcohol, it starts to come out. And what I mean by come out is it comes out of the solution, so it solidifies or it precipitates. So I would recommend at this point use a coffee stirrer or a toothpick, and you can even let this sit for another minute or two, but you're gonna put it in, and it's kind of like making cotton candy. You kind of spin it around, and you'll be able to collect. You don't have to go deep, just kind of stay sort of near the surface. And I'm going around and collecting a bunch of DNA. Now this has some air and some water mixed in with it. But this is what you're hoping to fish out, is a big blob of DNA. So that is a successful experiment. You can touch this, you can play with it. Again, these are strands that we liberated out of the nucleus, and they're gonna have some water and some air in them, but that's our DNA. So at this point you can try changing up some variables. You can still use your same soap, salt water as your extraction fluid over and over again, and I'm curious to see what you learn, so have some fun.